Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 edition of Racing Against Drugs. I'll be your master of ceremonies today, Gabriel Riviere-Reed. This presentation is a yearly event organized by many community partners, and at the end of the day, we hope that you leave with a better understanding of what drugs are, how to say no to them, and some tips for a healthier lifestyle overall. I'd like to begin the presentation today by acknowledging that we are all gathered on Aboriginal lands inhabited by Indigenous peoples since time immemorial. As settlers, we are grateful for the opportunity to meet here and, of course, grateful to all those for thousands of years who have been good stewards of this land. Specifically, I am currently on the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Mohawk, and Huron-Wendat peoples. Hopefully, you'll have a conversation within your classrooms and to make sure that you know what Aboriginal lands that you are currently placed on. So, without further ado, we are going to hear, first of all, messages from Grand Chief Abram Benedict from the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne.
Sego, hello, and greetings to all of you. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Abram Benedict. I'm the Grand Chief of the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today and for such a beautiful, positive event. It's with great pleasure that I welcome all of you to the 2024 edition of Race Against Drugs. As thankful as I am that this event has been happening virtually, I'm thrilled that this year, after a long hiatus, we are once again able to see each other in person, as well as offering streaming services. Kudos goes out to the many volunteers, staff members, and organizations that worked hard to bring our community and neighbors together for this important message of how to steer clear of drugs and combine it with the fun of racing. As you grow, the people around you and experiences you have shaped your future help to become the person that you are. Explore the world, be kind, discover your passions, find your happiness. Along the way, it is important that you stay on the good path, keep a good mind and a clear heart, and stay drug-free upon that journey. At times, there may be pressures to get off that course, and the right decision isn't always the easy decision. Life can throw us challenges, but it's important not to give up on your goals. Always believe in yourself and never sit back and allow setbacks and recover from them and work towards your dreams. Even if you hit bumps in the roads and veer off the course, you can always get back on that course and continue your way. Once again, Yamagoa, thank you very much to all of you for participating in today's important event and ensuring its great success. Have fun, enjoy your day, and remember that while you're on your path, choose to be drug-free.
Hi guys, my name is Marcy Thompson and I'm a community support worker from the Akwesasne Child Family Services, and today I'm here with
Norm King. I'm Norm King. I'm with the Akwesasne Mohawk Police Service, and today we're going to be talking about vaping. Today we're going to talk about what vaping is, the effects on teens.
Hey Norm, what's vaping?
Hi Marcy. Vaping is a device that contains a battery. The battery heats a liquid, sometimes known as e-juice. The e-juice is then vaporized into a smoke. The smoke is then inhaled into the body. Actually, it's inhaled into the lungs.
Thanks, Norm.
Marcy thought vaping was harmless. It's not. Addiction, harmful chemicals, behavioral problems, memory.
Here are some facts about vaping that you probably didn't know about. Some people assume that vaping is harmless. It's not true. Vaping can actually increase your exposure to harmful chemicals, and long-term effects of vaping are still unknown. So just like cigarettes, it took them 50 years to figure out they're super bad for you. Vaping's only about 20 years old. There's still a lot that they don't know about it yet. And last but not least, it can lead to a nicotine addiction. And do you know who is especially impacted by the negative effects of nicotine? That's right, youth. You guys. What that means is that it's more likely that it'll alter your brain development and it'll affect your memory and your concentration. Hey Norm, can you tell me about the effects of nicotine and vaping?
Hi Marcy. Nicotine is a stimulant drug that speeds up the messages that travel between the brain and the body. Nicotine is found in cigarettes, vaping products, and tobacco products. Nicotine is also a highly addictive substance. Studies have shown that nicotine is as addictive as cocaine. Although nicotine is legal, it is regulated by Health Canada, and it is illegal to sell nicotine to a person under the age of 19. Hey, how's it going? What is that in your hand? That looks like a vaping device. are you? 16? And I haven't. You know as well as I do that you have to be 19 to possess it, right? Now I'm going to have to ask you to come up. Conclude this presentation. I'll just bring some information to everyone about education, motivation, and awareness.
So that concludes our presentation about vaping today. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact Norman King at ACTS or myself, Marcy Thompson at ACFS. Young Go for participating.
Thank you.
A big thank you to our partners at the Akwesasne Police Service for that great presentation. And now we're going to learn a little bit more about the dangerous effects of alcohol from the Ontario Provincial Police.
Hello, grade 6 and 7 students of the Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry in the City of Cornwall School Boards. Welcome to this year's Race Against Drugs virtual edition. I'm Constable John McPherson of the SDG&A OPP. Today I'm going to chat with you about the issues surrounding the use of marijuana in driving. Many drugs impair one's ability to drive. Depending on the drug type, it can reduce alertness, alter depth perception, impair concentration, and attention span, slow reaction time, and affect motor skills and visual function. Studies show that cannabis can have a negative impact on driving, including reduced concentration and attention span, slower reaction time, and an altered perception of time and distance. Cannabis is the most commonly found drug and is present in almost half of the drug-positive fatal crashes. Just like alcohol, you are not allowed to have any cannabis in your system. If you are driving and a police officer finds that you are impaired by drug, you will face serious penalties, including the possibility of losing your driver's license. You may face very expensive fines. Your vehicle will be taken away from you for an extended period of time, and you may be charged criminally and could spend time in jail. To demonstrate the effect of marijuana on a person's ability to perform a simple task, we are going to visit grade 6 students at the St. Mary's St. Cecilia School in Morrisburg. 3 students will be performing tasks normally, and then they will be asked to perform the same task while using special goggles that simulate being impaired by cannabis. I think you will be surprised at the effect of cannabis has on their ability to perform a simple task. We're now out at the St. Mary's St. Cecilia School. I have with me 3 prolific athletes from the school. They're grade 6 students. I've got Ishan, a very good soccer player, very coordinated. I've got Hallie here. She just had an undefeated hockey season. And I've got Will, who is a very good little athlete as well. In my hand is the goggles that we use to simulate what it's like to be impaired. And this is a demonstration without wearing the goggles. Attempt to kick a soccer ball without wearing the goggles. He's going to try to kick the ball with the goggles on. Without goggles on. She is wearing the goggles. Let's see how she does. To walk the yellow line, toe to toe, without goggles on. Goggles on.
Thank you once again to the Ontario Provincial Police for that great presentation. And now I'd like to introduce RCMP member Mark Villeneuve.
Hi everyone, my name is Constable Mark Villeneuve. I'm with the RCMP in Cornwall, and I'd like to have a brief discussion with you this morning in regards to the use of opioids in our community in Cornwall, and more notably the use of fentanyl. So I invite you to come on patrol with me this morning and have a quick discussion. Thank you. I'd like to maybe just touch base on what is a drug. Well, it's a chemical. It's a chemical given by a doctor to prevent an illness. It's usually also given to people after operations or fighting certain diseases. People also take drugs because they give a pleasant feeling when they're not taken correctly. Taken correctly with a prescription through a doctor, you'll be relatively safe. As I mentioned at the start, I'd like to have a conversation about what are opioids. Opioids is a class of drugs which are produced from the poppy plant. It's a medication. It's used to relax the body and to relieve pain. People can misuse these when they take the medication other than when it's prescribed by a doctor, or they take someone else's medicine, or they simply take it to get high. People will often misuse these by taking the pills and crushing them, opening the capsules and dissolving them in water, and then using them to inject into their body. As previously mentioned there, to relieve pain, they do have harmful effects such as drowsiness, confusion, and they will definitely affect your breathing, which could lead to a coma, which could very possibly lead to death. Once people start abusing or taking medication, they develop what is called a tolerance. Tolerance is when you need more of that same drug to get the same effect, to get the same feeling of pleasure. As people build tolerance, it leads to an addiction. And at that point, people have no control. People will sell their personal possessions. They will give away. They will trade. They will resort to committing criminal acts so they can sell what they steal to get money so they can provide for their addiction. As I mentioned a while ago, the fentanyl issue in Cornwall is a real problem, not only here in Cornwall, but in other cities as well. Fentanyl is a type of opioid, and it's used primarily by doctors for cancer patients to treat their pain. Street names for fentanyl will be Apache, Dance Fever, Friend, Goodfellas, and Jackpot. Fentanyl is the most common drug involved in overdose deaths. In 2017, there were 59.8% of all overdose deaths were as a result of fentanyl. The reason that fentanyl is so dangerous is because it's extremely powerful, and some drugs such as fentanyl are mixed with other drugs such as heroin and cocaine to become more addictive. You can't smell it, taste it, or see it, and because it's so strong that the dose that will get you high can also kill you as well. And there's a very small margin in the difference. Please know, guys, that everyone handles fentanyl differently. One person who can handle a certain dose, it can kill someone else. And please remember that the piece the size of a grain of salt can kill you. For police, it's a real concern because we can come in contact with that when we're searching someone or we're searching a vehicle and we find bags of pills or powder, and it will take just a light dusting on us to ingest it, not knowingly, and as a result we'll become drowsy, and it will affect our breathing, and we could very well fall unconscious. That's why we carry a drug on us to counteract that. Guys, I can't stress enough the importance of making good choices, of making sure that you stay away from drugs, don't even try them. If it gets to a point where an addiction begins, this will definitely affect your future. We all have dreams of doing something in life, of starting a career, a business, and drugs will certainly possibly very much ruin that. Before being a police officer, I was a correctional officer, prison guard in Kingston for 8 years, and I've seen the effects of drugs, what they can do, and the result of making bad choices, which lead you to prison. And this will totally affect the outcome of your life and the direction you'll be taking. So please make wise choices. Please don't be afraid to say no. And if you need help, please reach out to us, the RCMP here in town, in Cornwall, as well as the Cornwall Police Service. We're always there to listen and help you. So I wish you all the best for the rest of this year. And I hope you have a great summer, and best of luck next year. And we'll see each other again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark Villeneuve. And now, our friends at Cornwall Police with a few presentations, starting with Deputy Chief Vincent Foy.
Good day. My name is Deputy Chief Vincent Foy of the Cornwall Police Service. Today, I invite you to participate in the 26th edition of the Race Against Drugs 2024. We will speak to students from grade 6 located in Cornwall, Akwesasne, and the United Counties of SDG&A. This community program aims to familiarize participants to the hazards of using drugs and to teach them to say no. Participants will learn the physical, mental, social, and legal impacts pertaining to drug and alcohol abuse. You will see clear messaging on the importance to say no to drugs and alcohol. Nothing is more important than your safety and your security, and you will learn about the powers and responsibility to make clear and informed decisions. I wish you all a great event. Have a nice day.
Hi everyone, my name is Dan Clutie. I'm a police officer for the City of Cornwall. I always introduce myself as Dan Clutie because first and foremost, I'm a human. I'm just like you. And that's why today I want to take a moment to speak to you about something very important, and it's going to be from Dan to you. We're going to be talking about drinking and driving. But Dan, why? Why do we have to talk about drinking and driving? I get it. You don't drive, right? You don't hang out at the bars? I understand that, but what I'm afraid of is that you get into a car when after the driver's been drinking. And I can give you many examples of that. We'll say that, you've seen people at parties before, maybe an aunt or an uncle, that, they may have had a glass of wine and they're walking down the hall and they're tipsy a little bit. Well, could you imagine if they're feeling tipsy and they have a hard time walking, that they got to get into a car next and maybe drive you home? That's pretty dangerous. Then you say, yeah, I get it, Dan, and there's a lot of consequences. Why do people drink and drive? Well, could be boredom, could be the first time they do it, so they're not sure. Maybe they do it all the time and gotten away with it. All of what I've just said is excuses, and it's not acceptable. At the end of the day, police are going to be involved, or maybe even somebody could get hurt. So, speaking about driving, why don't you come with me for a virtual ride?
Now let's take a ride. While under simulated effects of alcohol, you'll see that this ride is not much fun.
My name is Constable Mark Villeneuve. I'm with the RCMP in Cornwall. I'm sitting in for Dan, not Dan Cloutier, but for Pat Heigen, who's not feeling well this morning. So let's recap the video. What would be the options here? Contact a friend for a ride home, take your bike, call a taxi. Even an option would be to contact your parents, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Your parents would much rather have you contact them. They most likely will be upset, yes, but they will get over that. And they will be quite happy and thankful that you contacted them to bring them home. Unfortunately, as a police officer, we've all seen too many tragic incidences where there's been fatalities where the right choice was not made, that a simple call at home or a friend or a taxi would have had a different outcome. So thank you for saying no to drugs, and I'd like to introduce Joel Richer from Patenaude Martial Arts. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Sifu Joel Richer from the Patenaude Martial Arts Schools and Fitness in Ontario and Quebec. And we'll do a little fit break today because we've been sitting and it's time to exercise and to move a little bit. And I got Malik with me to help me out. Malik's from the Marie Tanguay School in Cornwall, and we're ready to go. Malik's going to do the exercise, and I want everybody to stand up and find yourself some room in your classroom and space out, because we're going to need some room to move. And we'll do some exercise, 4 or 5 exercises from there. And we'll begin. We'll start with some jumping jacks. We'll do some for 30 seconds. Go. Arms all the way up. That's it. You're doing good, guys. 10 seconds left. And stopping. Good. Very good. Now we'll do some squats, but we'll do it, I'll say martial arts style. We'll do a little bit of squat, a little bit different. That means he's going to squat and he's going to kick. That's it. Squat, kick on the other side, and you'll alternate left to right, right to left, so on and so forth for 30 seconds. Begin, go. Nice squats. Do as best you can. Make sure you have enough room. Ten seconds left. All right, very good. Now we'll need a little bit of room too again. We'll do some leg raises. Now we're going to stretch our legs a little bit. That means you'll put one foot in front of the other, and you're going to bring your back leg as high as you can, keeping your leg locked. That's it. And you will do 10 on each side and begin. Go. That's it. Other side now. Just switch your feet and just going up. Keeping your leg locked, toes pointing up, and go as high as you can. And stopping. Good. Now we'll do some lunges. Hands on your hips. And you're going to take a step forward. That's it. That's it. And left to right, right to left for lunges for about 30 seconds. You're doing good, guys. Keep it up. It's all about to have a healthy lifestyle. Five seconds left. And stopping. Good. Now we'll do one last one. And it's all an exercise that everybody knows because you're doing it at school. And I will challenge you this morning. That means Maddie's going to go in the plank position. It will be on your elbows and forearms, body straight. Make sure that your butt is not too up and it's not too down. Nice and straight. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Don't start right away. But it's only 30 seconds. As some of you is going to say, oh, it's only 30 seconds. But if I see somebody fall or the teacher, all right, it could be only 30 seconds or maybe it's going to be longer. All right, 30 seconds and lock it up and begin go. Try to hold it nice and straight. Now we're doing it as a team. Nice and straight, lock it up. If nobody falls, we got 10 seconds left. Five seconds. And stopping. Good. Very good. Very good. Give yourself a hand, guys. Give yourself a hand. Very good. Very good. All right. That was the fit break. And just from the move, make sure to, like all the others said from them, make sure to say no to drugs because it will affect your like your activities that you're doing on a regular basis. Could be a sport, any type of physical activity or mental activity. That's why it will affect your balance, your coordination, your endurance, your stamina, your speed, your power. Like you saw with the OPP earlier from there doing different sports will affect that. That's why I got to make sure to say no to drugs. And thank you.
And now a presentation on outdoor safety from Officer Rupert from the Ministry of Natural Resources.
Good afternoon and welcome to Race Against Drugs 2022. My name is Gary Rupert. I'm a conservation officer with the Ontario Ministry of Northern Development, Mines, Natural Resources and Forestry. Today we're going to talk about ATVs and safety and drinking and driving. Before we get into the main part of it, we're going to talk real quick about helmets and ATVs. Helmets are one of the most important pieces of equipment that you can wear on an ATV. I have three kinds of helmets here today. I have what's called an open face helmet. It doesn't have a chin guard. I have the closed faced helmet, which has the chin guard. The open faced helmet is one that I do not like. The reason being is if you were to hit something with this helmet on, there's no protection for your face. So when you hit something, your face is actually the first thing that hits. With the closed faced helmets, if you were to hit something, the first thing that hits is that chin guard. It gives you that extra layer of protection. This is a all-right helmet. It's a very old helmet. I use it for demonstrations. This helmet is an adequate helmet. The helmet that I wear when I'm working is the full-faced helmet. The whole face lifts up if you want to take it off. It's a more expensive helmet, but it's worth the price to pay for a good helmet. So let's get into the safety of the ATVs and what we're really here to talk about today in Racing Against Drugs. ATVs are fun. They're great things to ride around on. You can have lots of fun with them, but they are dangerous. You have to treat them with respect. You have to be careful on them. One of the things that we see a lot of is people driving around with no helmets on. That's a major safety violation for us. It's a definite way that, we're going to stop you, we're going to question the lack of the helmet. The other issue is people that are drinking and driving. Every year we've seen a number of people, they figure I can have 1 or 2 drinks, jump on a 600-700 pound ATV and go riding through the trails at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. Once you've got alcohol in your system, your reaction time on an ATV is dramatically reduced. Unlike a vehicle where you have seat belts, airbags, safety devices, you have none of that on an ATV. If you were to roll this ATV or run into a tree with it or a fence or a pole, you have no protection other than the helmet. And the alcohol is going to greatly reduce that ability to stop and maneuver that ATV. So what happens when you get stopped by myself, a police officer, while under the influence of alcohol or drugs? If we suspect you've been drinking and driving, you will be arrested. You will go to a local detachment where a breathalyzer sample will be taken. If you're found to be impaired, you will be charged for impaired operation of a motor vehicle. It's the same offense as driving a vehicle while drinking and driving. So you've been charged with impaired operation, you end up going to court. You're found guilty at court. The possible outcomes from court is definitely a fine. You could face jail time. You could lose, the ATV could be permanently seized, so you're going to lose that $12,000, $15,000 ATV that you've worked so hard to buy. Penalties in this are all the people that you see at Race Against Drugs today, police officers, paramedics, teachers, working at the border security. None of those jobs are available to you. You will not be hired if you have a criminal record. If you like to travel to the United States, you will not be allowed to travel into the United States. You'll be screened at the border. If you're found to have a criminal record, you will be turned back from entering the United States. The same thing, people from the United States trying to come into Canada. If you have a criminal record, you will be turned back at the border. You could also face jail time, depending on the seriousness of the situation. How many times have you been caught before? You could face jail time as well. So what we also see a lot of is, someone's been drinking, they go over to their friend's house, and they get their friend to get on the ATV with them. The friend knows that they've been drinking, they know that they're impaired, but because of peer pressure, they decide to get on the ATV with the person. Same idea, you're now going down the trail at 40, 50 miles an hour. Driver loses control because of the drugs and the alcohol, and they end up hitting a tree or a pole. The driver gets ejected, minor injuries, but the friend ends up hitting the tree at 60 miles an hour and dies on the scene. I know of at least 3 cases locally where this has happened. The driver was impaired, hit a tree or a pole, and they end up killing their best friend. So now that person has to live with the fact for the rest of their lives that they've just killed their best friend. As I said, ATVs are fun. Enjoy them, treat them with respect, drive them with respect, have fun on them, play in the mud, and one day I hope to see you somewhere out on the trail.
To talk to to you about the race against drugs. So with the Cornwall Fire Service, we respond to any emergencies or any situations where you might need help in the city. But make sure you do your part to stay safe and say no to drugs.
Thank you to the Cornwall Fire Services for that presentation. And now, a note on railway safety from the CN Police and the Via Rail Police Service.
Hi, I'm Constable Kite with CN Police Service. We're here to share a few rail safety tips today. It's important to note that trains don't always run on the same schedule, and they can approach from any direction and at any time. Just because you didn't see a train here yesterday doesn't mean there won't be one today. Operators of a train will always report illegal activities, including trespassing, to police when they observe it. If you're caught, you'll be removed and could be issued a very expensive fine. Even if there aren't any trains present, there are other dangers within the railway tracks that could put yourself in harm's way, such as electrical equipment, switches, and debris along the railway tracks. Thank you for taking the time to listen to these important tips on railway safety.
Thank you once again for that great presentation. And now we'll hear words from Canada Border Services Agency.
Welcome to Race Against Drugs. My name is Ethan Sheep. I'm the superintendent at the Port of Cornwall, and this is my team. We have Officer Markel, Officer Alexander, Officer Gauthier, and Officer Latour. They're going to talk to you about not bringing drugs at the border.
Hi, I'm Officer Markel, and here we have some of the drugs and substances that have been found at the border. There's all different kinds. We have heroin, hash oil, prescription narcotics, such as oxycodone, codeine, cocaine. There's also there's different types of paraphernalia that are used for drugs. There's needles, there's razor blades, there's a spoon. And this is all different things that we've seized here at the Port of Cornwall.
And lots of things that you're going to see is hidden in disguise as different things. So you have a highlighter, what looks like a highlighter, but then you can pull it out and there's drugs hidden inside. There's a bottom of a can, which looks like a regular can, but it's you open the bottom of it and it's not. And if this is found at the border in your vehicle, on your person, there's big penalties. You're going to have a criminal a record, possible prison time, or if you're not Canadian, you're an American coming into Canada, you'll be perhaps banned for life to coming into Canada, bringing in these things.
So as we discussed prior, this is one of the tools we have for detection of different substances, drugs, guns, things like that. So I'm just going to do a demonstration now. So just place the bag on the conveyor belt here. As you can see here, there's a foreign substance that looks like it's not supposed to be there. It looks metallic. There's different modes here that we're able to detect different things. So now I'm just going to take the bag out. So as you can see here, there is a firearm that's undeclared. So this traveler would be subject to arrest.
So this is a swab. We've swabbed this phone from a traveler. We're going to put the sample in this machine.
So this is the ion scan. It's one of the detection tools we talked about earlier. Right now it's reading the sample to see if it can detect any traces of any banned substances. This can detect cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin. So as you can see now, it's an alarm for heroin and opium. So this means that the traveler or something that they have in their possession has recently come in contact with heroin. So now we do a more progressive search of the person. They could have heroin in their pockets, their jacket. It's on their person. If the person were to have heroin on them, they'd be subject to arrest.
Hi everybody, I'm Officer Latour from Canada Border Services Agency. I have one of the best jobs in the world. I'm a canine officer. All throughout Canada, we have about 56 opera dogs that we use throughout from the airports and also the port of entrance. The dogs themselves are, well, they have 4 legs for sure, but they also have 20,000 more of a scent than we do. So whenever you've seen before that you've seen the ion scan where they use for the particles, my dog can come in, search a vehicle for about 30 seconds to 40 seconds. If there's a product in there, he'll get it. When I mean about product, I mean narcotics or a gun. That's what they have. At that point in time, that's when we know for sure that there's something in there. So at that point, we'd be arresting the person and going for the rights and cautions. And that person there would actually be either in prison or be banned from Canada altogether. So you see before that blue indicated around this area right here. So opening up this, there's a void in the back. So inside the void here, we had 40 grams of heroin, in which any officer probably wouldn't detect it, but my dog does. At a point in time, the subject would be placed under arrest, and prosecution would follow for that. So you can see for Blue, it was a game of hide and seek for him. A lot of the smugglers try to hide stuff in their vehicles. Well, Blue is the number one for seeking and finding. So, thank you.
Thank you once again to CBSA for that informative presentation. And now I'd like to introduce Tanya Sveistrup from Santa Santé Communautaire de l'Estrie.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm a health promoter here at the Santa Santé Communautaire de l'Estrie. I work with a great team of health professionals, and we're all super happy to be a part of Racing Against Drugs again this year. We hope that this event will have an impact on you and help you to make good and informed decisions today, but also through the rest of your lives. So thank you for being a part of the event, and without further ado, let's talk about peer pressure. What is peer pressure? So if we look at the different words, we have peer. So a peer is someone in your own age group. For example, a friend or someone on your hockey team, someone in a neighbor in your neighborhood, for example. And pressure is the feeling that you are being pushed toward making a choice, and that could be a good choice or a bad choice. Therefore, peer pressure is the feeling that someone, a peer or a friend, is pushing you to make a specific decision, whether it's good or bad. There are different kinds of peer pressure. Peer pressure can impact our choices and behaviors and sometimes lead to unhealthy or dangerous behaviors. And in this case, we're talking about negative peer pressure. So for an example, someone might pressure you to make a bad decision like bullying a classmate or vandalizing a building. On the other hand, peer pressure can also influence us in positive ways. So an example of positive peer pressure, where a friend pressures you to make a good decision, might be a friend pressuring you or encouraging you to volunteer or to try out for the volleyball team or to join a music club.
Hello, Monsieur Legros. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please give us an example of situations where students might face negative or positive peer pressure situations?
Peer pressure situations are everywhere. They're pretty omnipresent at the time, especially on the negative side with social media now. As students or teenagers feel pressure and peer pressure all the time. Like it's not just at school or at work or at home. It's everywhere due to social media. Oftentimes what students will do is they'll issue themselves a TikTok challenge or a social media challenge where students or people are encouraged to try certain things or to steal an item or to vandalize something or to try vaping or to do certain instances that normally they wouldn't feel that pressure, but because they're present in those groups online and in these chat rooms, sometimes there are certain likes or comments or points that are attributed, and that becomes a great challenge for the teenagers to deal with that we didn't have even a few years ago. On a positive side, sometimes a little pressure is a good thing for students or teenagers to be able to try something different. You want to encourage to go try out for the basketball team or push yourself to perform even better for the class presentation, or just to give a little encouragement or that extra little nudge that someone needs to really take that leap and to go and to try something. So there are positive instances of a little bit of peer pressure.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you, Maya, for accepting to chat with us today. Can you please give us an example of a situation where your peers might face a negative or positive peer pressure?
Yeah, so negative peer pressure examples are your peers might want you to try vaping or pull pranks in the bathroom. But also positive peer pressure examples might be my peers want me to do my homework or join a group of sports or music.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Peer pressure can be spoken. So in this case, a peer or a group of peers might ask or suggest or try to persuade you to do something. For example, smoking or vaping, and they might say something like, oh, come on, don't be such a chicken, just try it. On the other hand, peer pressure can also be silent or unspoken. Now, this type of pressure is more subtle and indirect. It involves peers influencing each other by their behaviors and actions. For example, as you can see on the screen in this picture, a group of popular kids might be seen hanging out and drinking alcohol. Even if they don't say anything to pressure others to join in, just seeing the group acting in a certain way might lead others to think that drinking is the cool thing to do. Dealing with peer pressure. It's important to know yourself. Be clear about your values and your decisions. And when we talk about value, we're talking about things that are important to you. For example, family or playing well, performing well, studying hard. Understand why you're making the best decision for you. Don't change your way of thinking and acting just to follow the crowd. Stay true to what's important to you. Then have confidence in yourself and in your decisions. Know that you're responsible for your decisions and the consequences that result from them. Don't give in. Stand up for yourself and what you believe in. If you're unsure of your decision, talk to someone you know and trust. And that could be someone like a teacher, it could be someone from a local agency, it could be a parent, a good friend. It's important to find someone that you trust. And learn to say no. It's often easier to say yes than it is to say no. Saying no can be hard because we feel like we need to explain ourselves and we might fear being judged. It's important to feel accepted, and sometimes people make bad decisions in order to fit in. So how can I say no? Say why you don't want to do something.
Hey, look what I found. You want to try it?
No, I won't make the dance team if I do it.
Leave. Remove yourself from the situation.
Look what I found. You want to try it?
No, thanks.
Or make up an excuse.
Look what I found. You want to try it?
I have dance class in like 2 minutes. I need to go. Bye.
Use humor.
Look what I found. You want to try it?
I need to go feed my shark.
Say what the consequences are.
Hey, look what I found. You want to try it?
No, I won't make the dance team if I do it.
Or suggest doing something else.
Hey, look what I found. You want to try it?
I'm going bowling. Maybe you want to come with me?
Sure.
And no means no.
Hey, look what I found. You want to try it?
No.
Choose the friends you surround yourself with. A good friend inspires you to make good decisions, and a good friend is someone you trust. A good friend will respect and support your choices and allow you to be the person you want to be. Our choice of friends strongly influences the way we think, act, and communicate with others. Use this recipe to deal with peer pressure. SSTA. So stop, step back, think before you act. And finally, we're going to finish our presentation today with this short video. Thank you for being here.
Everybody's doing it.
If you don't do it, you're a little girl.
Come on, just do it. Everybody's doing it.
Put your big boy pants on.
You're gonna get kicked out of the crib. You don't do it.
If you don't do it, you're a little girl.
Be a man.
Go, dude, just go.
All right, Tanya, thank you once again for that great presentation on peer pressure and a little bit of reversing the trend there a little bit. I do want to offer a warning before our next presentation. Although the information inside is very pertinent, very important, there are some disturbing videos. The video is very intense, but very realistic as well. So I'd like to introduce this video produced with Emergency Management Services.
As the paramedic services, we are far too often called upon to respond to drug overdoses. Our race is against time.
Street drugs can suppress your breathing and heart rate to the point where both can stop. If your heart stops, your chance of survivability is decreased.
Today we present a far too common scenario of the consequences of drug overdose, brought to you by the paramedics who deal with them every day.
My name's Lee Keeler. I've seen 2 this month.
I'm Medic Randy Lalone. I've seen 3 this month.
I'm Alyssa LaFleche, and I've seen 5 this month.
My name's Dave. I overdosed once this month.
Code 4, 18-year-old male, drug overdose. Possible VSA, responded with the PRU.
Not another one. This is my 3rd this month.
I know, Randy, that's brutal. Every time I do one of these, a little piece of me gets ripped out. I can't imagine how the family feels. What's going on?
We have an 18-year-old male patient, VSA, post-drug overdose. Him and his friends went to a party tonight. They wanted to try some new drugs. They don't know what they were, and they don't know what was in them. There's no quality control in street drugs.
This needs to stop. This is a healthy 18-year-old. Whatever he took did this to him. I just hope we got here in time. I've been doing Race Against Drugs for 20 years with some great success. Lately, overdose is up 400%. What I used to see 3 overdoses a year, now I'm seeing 3 a month. What is it I'm missing? Look, I'm getting tired. I hate doing this. This doesn't make any sense. As medics, we see people die. I see people die in car crashes. I see people die of cancer and other illnesses. I see our elders pass with dignity, as they should. Those I can understand. I can explain those. This is a normal, healthy 18-year-old that took something and we're having trouble getting his heart started. I need your help. We need your help. You decide whether to use drugs or not. That's your decision to make. Make it today, before somebody offers you drugs, and they will if they haven't already. Maybe we can continue this conversation at a later point. I feel it's important enough, and I feel you're important enough. Let's go back and check to see how our patient's doing.
Hi, doctor. I have an 18-year-old male patient, VSA, secondary to a drug overdose. We've had 3 analysis, 3 no shocks, and patient's been in asystole throughout. Okay. All right, everyone. Our base hospital physician gave us a termination of resuscitation.
TOR, or termination of resuscitation, means we've done everything for this patient we can. There's nothing else we can do, except now I've got to tell his parents. Would you want to tell his parents?
I wish I would have known. If I would have known, I would have never taken drugs. I wish I'd have known. Now you know.
Well, that was the last presentation of this year's Racing Against Drugs. We hope you enjoyed the presentations. There certainly was some fun parts to it as well, but more importantly, a lot of important information. And at the end of the day, we want to remind you that the reason all of these community partners came together to produce this, the reason I'm here today is because we believe in you, we believe in your future. If you make the right decisions, you can be anything that you want to be. And we certainly encourage you to keep in mind the lessons that you learned here today. And we're going to finish off with a video highlighting the sponsors of this event, without whom Race Against Drugs would just not be possible. So thank you. Big shout out to all of these sponsors. And we thank you for joining us today. And we wish you all the best of luck. Have a happy day, guys.
Without our valued sponsors, RIDE would not have been a success. Remember, say no to drugs, and above all, stay safe.